Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the AI session. My name is Karol Bliznak. I'm the Chief Product Owner for AI Services in Customer Support, and it's my pleasure and privilege to welcome you to this session. We didn't want to steal the thunder of SAP Cloud ALM, of course. That's why we humbly said, just let's use the Friday afternoon to give you an update. Not only to show you what we do in the area of AI, as you know, SAP not only embeds AI in its cloud product and solutions, but also in our internal processes, and we are quite proud of it. So not only to show you, but rather also to get into a peer-to-peer discussion, maybe how you are perceiving this, what I'll be showing you, what you see from your daily work, and maybe also how you do AI at your own company to, let's say, boost your internal processes. So that's the session today. My background, I've been with SAP for almost 25 years, 2 decades in analytics, product management. Then I decided it's time for change. What can I do? 4 years ago, I said, well, artificial intelligence would be something cool. I could do some research and some great work there. Suddenly, I found myself and the entire team right in the middle of a perfect storm, like the wave, the hype came, and now everybody is an AI expert. So that's where we are. But we do some really serious stuff with AI, how to improve the customer support process at SAP. The agenda, I rather skip. Let's set the stage by saying where we can find AI in the customer support process. And for those of us who lead this AI investment and effort in customer support, I think the best kudos is when customers approach us. Last one, I really loved the quote. The guy told me, somehow I do not know what you are actually doing there, but the support process feels somehow different and it feels much better. I said, well, mission accomplished. We conveyed it to the entire team, and that's somehow also my mission today, to evangelize, to show you actually what we do behind the scene to really make sure that the process is as convenient for you as possible. We heard Stefan Steinle in his keynote session. Found it very inspiring when he talked about let's say traditional the process as we know it. He called it offline. I love the term very much because it's something like creating a ticket, then it lands in a black box for you, and who has the control? When is the response, the solution coming? It's very much offline. It's very reactive. Traditionally, somehow you as our customers approaching us, well, these are our perceived issues, problems with the SAP solution. Then we say, oh yeah, we acknowledge, or we try to convince you that this is not a problem. So kind of coming after the fact. And we realize we can do better because it's not only frustrating for you as our customer, like scratching your head on what is happening now with my issue. In my long career at SAP, I had many opportunities when I was sitting on the other side, so next to the engineer who was or she was like scratching his or her head and saying, well. I don't have the information from the customer to solve the ticket. Maybe SAP has it somewhere else, but I don't have it at my fingertips. Then a question back to the customer. The customer was irritated. Why is SAP asking me this question again? I already provided all the information. Don't they have the information there? Well, it's the very classic problem. You have seen it 1,000 times. So that's why that's our motivation to improve things. And what can help us when you have a stable support team? You need to go innovative to improve the processes for the customers and for ourselves as well. That's why we came with the concept of the real-time support. Many things get real-time nowadays, so we really want to be preventative and predictive. We know you. We know your installations, we know your products, we know your usage. We know your support history. The data is there, and we work with it in a very ethical and very legally compliant way. However, We would like to show you that we know you and we are there when you need help, and we do not ask the same question multiple times. So being predictive about things which might happen, we can expect certain things happening in our data centers, in the solutions, in your particular system installation, system instance, looking forward, not just running behind those tickets. When you're already experiencing a ticket, it's in many cases too late. So looking ahead, that's the first mantra that somehow drives us, and where we say AI can be really the game changer there. Then we realize, well, when you create a ticket, it's too late. It's very frustrating for you that you got to the point that you have to communicate officially your perceived issue with SAP. Maybe there has been a solution that we were just not able at that stage to show it to you. And you could have used it, some knowledge base article, some note which really applies to the issues that you are experiencing at the moment. We could have given it to you, you could have looked at it, you could have fixed it yourself. So this portion of self-service is an absolutely great concept to follow, because then you are happy, you've solved your issue. SAP is happy because then we can focus on those tickets which are real tickets where we need to do something about as your provider of cloud solutions. So this is what we call guided self-service, and this must be intelligent and it must be tailored and must really give you the information you need. Otherwise, you are frustrated with the self-service experience as well. So that's where we think AI can help also a lot. The next thing is sometimes you wish, and you know it, you are using it, we know this is a very heavily used service, this expert chat. Sometimes you just wish to talk to a person. How can AI help there? Well, AI can do the first triage when you start typing your, let's say, issue, the things that you are seeing with your SAP solution. AI can help us already identify, well, this is a great thing where in previous cases, expert chat helped, and we can help nominate this and suggest to you, do you want to solve this problem by contacting the expert chat channel? So doing this very intelligent analysis of the technical information of the problem that you are providing, while you are talking to the expert, but still it can be AI assisted. And the whole thing with the digital support experience, yeah, we want to be there. We want to be like in TV, like it's on the channels. Like you watch something on the TV, then on your mobile phone. That's the devices you use. That's the environments you use. We want to be in SAP for me as your one-stop shop for interaction with SAP. But we want to be on your mobile device with the Get Support app, for example. And last but not least, we want to be in the cloud solutions that you are using with the built-in support concept that I'll be showing to you in a second, and that you are, I know, very familiar with. So this is what we think it will be, let's say, the very dramatic innovation, getting from the offline reactive way of supporting you in your perceived issues and problems with SAP solution into something which is modern, which is state-of-the-art, which is comparable with the experience that you are getting maybe somewhere else. And this drives us. And it's a significant investment to get there. And today I would like to take this as our leading kind of structure for the discussion today, and to start showing you, let's say, where we are, what we do behind the scenes, and how it's all connected. So in the, let's say, upper part of the slide, you see the channels. That's what I mentioned. This is how you can contact us to get assistance, to get help, to get information when you are experiencing problems with your solution, when you are searching for information. Typically, let's say the first and very low threshold is the built-in support. As I mentioned, and as you know it, you are directly in your solution. You are in S/4HANA Cloud, and there is this nice icon. I will show you a short demo. And in a tunnel, you can really get to the support team and to the intelligent models and algorithms and recommenders that we have prepared for you. So directly out of your SAP Cloud solution. Very convenient, very modern, and AI assisted. The middle part is also related to it. It's just like the mobile version of the Get Support app that you see in the SAP for Me. So SAP for Me, as we know, it's the one-stop shop, the, let's say, the contact place, the portal for you to get assistance and find information. So this is somehow the mobile version of these. And there, as we will see in a second, and as you know, there is this Get Support app where you go and you can search for information, you can log tickets, you can select to chat to experts. So that's kind of the portal experience. So directly in the solution, or using the support channel in a mobile version or in a browser version. That's what visible to you. What is behind the scenes is that what I'm responsible for. We have a place where we have all those nice little helpers, recommenders, as AI services available. We put them in production. They work with support data in a highly legal and compliant way. It's compliant with the terms of use, with the support schedule. So we do only things that are really ethical and legal. It's not about, let's say, any personal data in this in this stage. It's really about extracting the technical information what the customer really needs and finding technically those solutions that that are available. So this is kind of a backbone. We have roughly 100 data scientists in our organization, very smart, very clever people who really work day in, day out on designing algorithms and making sure that all those little recommenders and advisors in the upper environments work for you. This is connected to the ITSM service. That's where SAP Cloud ALM also comes in and plays a very important role. You saw maybe a presentation by my colleague Willy Jute where he explained it in detail, so I will just touch it. We also saw Xavier Dupera in his keynote talking about this. This is not only about passing tickets between your own company's ITSM solution and the SAP support backbone. Maybe it's not a ticket at all. Maybe it just hits our platform, and platform says, well, maybe there is a solution for you, so you do not have to send a ticket over. Just make sure that you have seen this knowledge base article or not. So all the things, all the intelligent features that work in the above, in the visible portals where a human user is interacting with SAP, we want to make them available also for the, let's say, backend communication via ITSM. And the last portion of my presentation today will be oriented about our own self-learning curve. How do we know that these things actually work? How do we know that when we injected an artificial intelligence service somewhere in the chain of steps of the support interaction, that actually you guys as our customers are happy? You can do it only with process mining. That's what we do. We are not interested in the journey of one particular person, Josef Müller, how he clicked through the portal. So this is absolutely highly aggregated, highly anonymized, but we have the opportunity to see the mass of our customers, those hundreds of thousands of users in this portal, what they did. Did they click on something? There was an intelligent service. Did they recognize that, let's say, the suggestion provided by the AI service was correct? Or are we just creating confusion? Are we just creating endless loops? Are we creating delays in the process? Or are we really making the difference by shortening the processing time, increasing the self-service rate for you? That's why we use process mining of Signavio, also a topic here at the ALM Summit, for our own purposes, to see the journey of our customers through their support experience. So that's the goals I mentioned. You can only do this with AI. We realized that adding more people, more support engineers to the support team would not do the trick. We still get a fair amount of customer tickets to process. So this is not the problem of human scale. This is rather how can we concentrate the human capacity, the human talent, those thousands of support engineers that we have in our organization to do things which really they have the talent for, and to remove repetitive tasks, remove tasks which can be assisted by artificial intelligence, providing co-pilot solutions, providing recommenders, providing categorization. So there are many, many mind-numbing tasks, which is a waste of time of a support engineer, is the time that you're still missing in the processing of your case. You want a swift response, you want a swift solution. So whatever we can do behind the scenes to improve the processes is creating business value for you as a customer. So absolutely, what let's say our goals that drive the AI initiative is, we want to make things run faster. As I mentioned, you can recommend many things, you can categorize many things. The engineer will make the call at the end. The engineer will solve the problem for you, but it can be assisted by AI. So assisting, and also there are many things which we discover by doing process mining on our own support processes. We discover there are many things which are repetitive, many things which are delaying the process, and things like this can be automated as well. So accelerate, assist, and automate. And there is one thing which is not mentioned. That's rather a very, very hot topic with the large language models. You know it. The support interaction is very text heavy. This is something new. This is not, in many cases, not about numbers. This is about being able to interpret what you, as our customers, are trying to tell us, being able to find the right solution, being able to formulate the answer in a way that you can use it instantly. And this way, we think generative AI and large language models are absolutely the perfect helper there. We are massively investing into this technology, which will then put a wrapper around recommender categorization, clustering is rather, let's say, some of them are textual, some of them are mathematical, but generative AI working with text is a big topic. Big topic for us. Now, and this is kind of the most illustrative slide, rather the pivotal slide of today's presentation. We do not show it very frequently, but this is what depicts where we are with our own AI platform in the support process. So that's kind of the secrets directly out of the kitchen. When you look in the upper part of the slide, there's, in very simplified terms, there's the support process. You are perceiving an issue. You are sensing that there's maybe something wrong with my SAP installation, with my SAP cloud services. What is the best way to help you not feel this way? To prevent these things from happening. So before we start talking tickets and issues and portals and description of problems, we want to make sure that your installation is healthy, that you have everything there which is needed. And this is where the system assistant as an intelligent service, also powered by SAP Cloud ALM, is helping. So the best way to treat, to cure a disease is, let's say, prevent the disease from happening ahead of the curve early enough. There is AI at work. However, it might be that you really perceive something, and this happens. That's reality. Nobody is perfect. That's why we have the support process, right? So there might be something that you are experiencing as an issue. Do you have to log the case at the moment? I mentioned this self-service. We would really love you in, let's say, that phase to find your solutions yourself. Why not? In many cases, a solution is there. Historically, you were not able to find it because we did not have AI. Now we have it. So we absolutely can, and I will show you the short demo. You know it from, let's say, the support portals that I mentioned. Things like incident solution matching. It's absolutely game-changing and critical. You just start typing in, I'm seeing this, and there are already solutions popping up on the right-hand side of the screen. And maybe it's really a knowledge-based article that you just need to read, or some setting that you need to do, which is described somewhere in a note or something. So that's absolutely here. We love you to solve your. Maybe it's not a problem. It's something you're perceiving, and why don't get the solution instantly? There is AI at work. Then, for a portion, it's like you can imagine, it's like a funnel for us. For a portion of these problems, they really transform into a case. That's the official communication where you say, I'm submitting a ticket. You know it, you've done it, we know it. There are millions of cases still. At this stage, it becomes frustrating for you, and it becomes costly for SAP, because we need to assign people. What is the best way to solve the ticket as soon as possible? So after what we call self-service, increasing self-service rate, our second objective or KPI is reducing time to resolution, because it absolutely helps both sides. We have many ways and many scenarios out of those. I proudly present those 40 plus, really 40 plus intelligent helpers, which help you and which help us. This is now more or less in the SAP turf. You have created a ticket to send it over to us. So you might ask, well, what's the big deal? Go and solve it. Well, I can tell you, AI can help there. We can do things like outbreak detection. Simple thing, very simple concept. When we have 20 customers logging similar tickets, should we assign 20 engineers, or should we try to identify maybe just one major cause, and then we assign a smaller team, and then all the customers affected are associated with this kind of major cause, and you get it solved and notified. Rather, I guarantee you, is much faster than 20 engineers in parallel solving 20 separate tickets. So identifying outbreaks is also something where AI can help us, because there are many algorithms which find similarities, and we have this scenario in production, and it's highly successful. The subsequent thing is what we call expert finder. So imagine we identified an outbreak, or we have a case logged by you. We should do our homework. Maybe we have already the perfect team which solved a similar case in a similar situation in the past. We do not care if it's customer A or customer B. The name of the customer, many of those services, they do not see it, because legally they don't have to. It's just the technical essence of a previous problem, something which happened in the past, where a combination of our engineers was highly effective solving that. This is what we call expert finder is swarming. Swarming is also not about a single engineer, but rather which grouping they can swarm, they can call colleagues. So which swarm like bees of engineers are the best team to solve the particular ticket. Also AI supported, and we can go. Let's say further. There is things like priority one judging. Escalation is also a big thing at SAP. When you say, I want to escalate my ticket, well, I can guarantee you there are many people jumping up and down to help you in such a situation. So we want to make sure that everything that gets escalated is really an escalation candidate, that the conditions, as in, let's say, in the support terms as they are defined between SAP and you as a customer, that it really meets the definition of a ticket. We have an engineer, a mission, the MCC specialist, those escalation handling guys and girls. Typically, it takes manually 15 minutes to assess, is it really priority one? Our algorithms can do it in 50 seconds with a high level of accuracy and precision. So that's where the experts can really focus on fixing a real escalation. That's where AI saves time for you and also for us. And we could go on and on. There are many other such little helpers going back to the rather development support teams, which is the last instance of support. Really, those guys who are responsible, those coders, those programmers of a solution where AI can, just by analyzing the essence of your case, can already suggest, hey, look at these technical objects, maybe that's where the problem is. So it really goes from the first touch, or really from things not happening, through self-service, through reducing time to resolution, down to, let's say, assisting the actual fix in the solution for you as a sustainable solution. That's where we have AI, and now my battery is not working. So let's have a look at the SAP for me Get Support app. This is what you know, more or less. It's slightly simplified, but imagine you are in the SAP for me portal, and you start describing your issue. You haven't hit the submit button yet. It comes along the path, but rather hopefully as the last instance. So you start typing in the description of your perceived issue, and this is what you know already. You have noticed it. That's what the customer told us. We don't know what you do, but it feels better. It feels better because these things are already happening here on the right hand side. Possible solutions to the problem that you are describing are popping up. It's there. It's AI at work. I mentioned Gen AI, so I brought a little lab preview directly. So please do not nail me and do not nail SAP down. I'll be showing you something directly out of the kitchen. So SAP reserves the right to have a different functionality in the final delivery. The usual disclaimers apply, but I just thought it exciting to be able to share with you how this process can be even improved by using large language models and Gen AI. So labs preview, the same scenario. Here, short description, detailed description. You have start typing in what your problem is about. Solutions, possible solutions are popping up. You might think, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is when you start looking at these little texts. This is not the first line of the respective knowledge base article as we saw it in the previous slide, which maybe doesn't tell you. It's something the author of the knowledge base article used, maybe some flowery language, and the first sentence tells you nothing. So you cannot judge when you see just a list and you see the title of the solution and maybe the first sentence, is it really addressing my problem or not? But you can use large language models, generative AI, already here behind the scenes, very fast, to give you a summary, to give you an essence. It reads like a set of keywords or let's say very key short solutions, but be sure the large language model has scanned the whole, let's say, text of the solution and is giving you, for your convenience, already an abstract. That's the first thing that strikes the eye, and it's very, very, very convenient. But it still doesn't address the issue that at the end of the day, you just have a list of things, and maybe the solution is a combination of these two, so you need to read this in detail, and this read detail, and say, no, this is maybe not that relevant, but maybe something of these. You still need to do some cooking with these ingredients before you get your final solution. That's why we think not only summarizing those KBAs, but also generating the output. You see, there is one more little box added here. It's saying generated solution, and that's where, you know, ChatGPT. So this is not ChatGPT. This is something professional grade and highly legal and highly compliant and tightly controlled. But in the same manner, it starts generating text in a different way than just a bulleted list of KBAs and notes here. So it really gives you more or less anleitung, more or less a guide how to do this, setting the stage, perform this step, this step, this step. The detailed things come as an essence out of all these very long SAP solutions that we provide. And that's where we think it reduces hallucination. The worst thing is, yeah, we know it, we play with these models, right? So they can do some nasty things. We do not want whatever OpenAI or whatever provider behind this to go and hallucinate in, let's say, in the large language model as it was trained on some publicly available information. We really want you to rely on these steps. So when we say it's 5 steps, you should probably trust us because those 5 steps have been mentioned somewhere here. We're preventing hallucination by grounding the model, by grounding the freedom to, let's say, provide answers and restrict hallucination by focusing it on the content that SAP has officially published. It can give it a nice starter, it will give it a nice ending. That's where the freedom of the model ends. Whatever is coming as technical should be massively reliable for you. You can have some nice other gimmicks if you do not like, let's say, this maybe flowery style with some introduction. You can regenerate it to very crisp solution, regenerate with bullet points to focus. But that's somehow the Gen AI large language model magic as we know it. So it's labs preview, most probably beginning of next year in this or very similar form. It will be available. We need to also change or adjust the AI terms, link the terms of use of SAP for me as your, let's say, one-stop shop. There will be very clearly said there is AI at work, and that's kind of what we assume you, that you will not misuse it for other purposes, and maybe covering the solutions as it's not intellectual property, so not copying it out or doing some other things. It's for the sole purpose helping you in this particular situation where you are facing some issue with an SAP solution. So that's the preview of what we think how generative AI can help us in this in this process. And then let's talk briefly now. Refocus. The time is clicking, so we're now refocusing on this part, on the ITSM solution. As Wilhelm Jute already presented it in detail, there are some good slides that you can look up. So I will just give you the essence. It's about integrating your own ITSM solution with SAP Support Backbone. Let's say in the first row, and SAP Cloud ALM acts there as the gatekeeper. It's about the cases. So some cases or case candidates from your own ITSM solution will be propagated to the SAP Support Backbone for processing. So that's the one link. The other link goes rather in your direction, where SAP Support Backbone can, through SAP Cloud ALM, connect with your ITSM solution to propagate information about outages or things happening at SAP for your convenience and further processing. And then there is this proactive tickets, proactive cases. I mentioned the outbreaks. I mentioned one aspect of it. I mentioned those 20 customers, if you remember, reporting the same issue. And that's already a big help that we can synthesize and solve it at once. But we can do much better. We know what customers are similar, because we really know your installations. We really know your cloud services that you are subscribing to. We really know your usage. You might be subscribed to a solution, but you're not using it, so why bother notifying? But imagine there is a major cause, there is something happening with a certain solution, 20 customers already affected, they know about it. You have not notified, you have not seen that in your system because maybe you've been doing something else or your focus has been somewhere else. But why should not SAP notify you, dear customer, based on the similarity with what's happening out there? We would like to proactively notify you that you might be affected by by an outbreak, and this is the possible solution. So that's just the kind of three pillars of kind of showing how the communication might flow. And as I said, SAP Cloud ALM is a big help there. Technically, yeah, it's somehow a complicated slide. One essence that's the key message for me is this part, the notion of a case candidate. Yeah, so we really do not want everything that kind of coming from your internal ticketing system where somebody assumes this is a case for SAP to, let's say, be propagated as a case. You've heard me showing you the incident solution matching service, for example. So maybe there is already a solution for something which is happening in your internal ticketing system. So we want the same services that I presented to you being plugged into this particular process, and then the information will come back, hey, just please check this, please check that. It's maybe not necessary to propagate this as a case for SAP, because as I said, this will become then frustrating, hopefully not that frustrating now with AI, but it will become complicated for you, and also SAP would have to be active. So plugging in AI in the ITSM handover process is also something that we are looking at. The release of this is planned. We heard Xavier saying in his keynote, also I think Q1 2025 when things go well. But please refer to the session by Wilhelm Jute from today's agenda. There is more details on this. Okay. Let's take a deep dive on the last, let's say, channel which is visible for you, the build-in support thing, which I personally consider very convenient. You are in your S4HANA system or SuccessFactors, or there's like 50 cloud solutions where built-in support is already activated. You just go there. You can search for things, you can get help, you can even create a ticket or trigger the expert chat out of this channel. So really it opens up a tunnel into the SAP infrastructure. I'll just show you briefly, but this is something that you know already, just for completeness sake, how it works. So yeah, that's the icon there with the headset, meaning support, and directly in your S4HANA cloud solution. Let's say this tunnel is open to support. It knows contextually where you are. It knows exactly the page, the application of the cloud solution, so it gives the support interaction the necessary context. You can do searching, as you can do in SAP for me as well, just by entering keywords. And if you think it's an issue, then you will just give it a title and description, and the incident solution matching kicks in. You can start expert chat. If you're not happy with what we are suggesting you, our AI is suggesting to you, you can create a case, but this is for the convenience. Out of your own SAP cloud solution, you are able to interact with SAP support very efficiently, very effectively, and AI driven, which particularly our team is very proud about. So that's kind of the last visible channel. Now zooming in a little bit on behind the scenes, you remember those 40 little helpers there. So now we're moving into the machine room of SAP. A brief recap. What we do there, we use the SAP support systems and the portals. That's how you are interacting with us. It's used to give the AI service the context and maybe the history of what has been happening, for very precise answers, very precise recommenders, a very precise categorization. And our services get also retrained because as we progress, there are new types of issues, there are new solutions, new KBAs and things. So we just want to make sure that we retrain those AI helpers to be always, let's say, up to speed and with the most current knowledge. So everything is connected. How does it look like? We have something we internally call Service and Support Data Lake. It's our platform for end-to-end AI development in a highly ethical. We really adhere to the ethical principles, the EU AI Act. We respect your contractual let's say relationship with SAP. There are many contracts. The support schedule is there. Cloud terms and conditions, privacy statements. So we have a, let's say, huge team of legals which is advising us, hey, what you are doing here. And we do not do bad things, right? Our own sole purpose is to make the support experience as convenient for you as possible. So the purpose is already, we are driven by this purpose. There is no hidden agenda, but we still want to make sure that we do it according to all the rules and regulations and principles. We have the data coming in from the source system. We have the case data, which is highly anonymized. There's definitely no need to see what customer that was. It's about the technical information. We have master data. We have information about SAP application component hierarchies. We have help text there. We have all those KBAs and nodes there as technical text. And that's the ingredients that our algorithms then cook the soup with. And that's where the all predictors and recommending services work as well. And it also covers the flank to Signavio, which will be the final portion of my presentation. I mentioned LLM very briefly. This is just LLM theory, Gen AI. We identify tasks where a large language model can help you semantically to improve retrieval search. It can help you generatively. You remember this little box on the right-hand side where there was a new text actually being compiled on the fly out of several knowledge-based articles. So generating things, that's what this model do in a grounded way, in a controlled way, preventing hallucinations, but generating text which helps you as our customer. That's connected to the retrieval augmented generative functionality, which helps ground these models. And we would also like to train some models which we host in our own data center, because a supplier of a large language model can very easily pull the plug on you saying there's a new version of our model, please, whatever you have trained the model with, it's lost, please go to our next version, and it's empty. So we want to make sure that when we train with those KBAs and things, some model to be able to recognize SAP language, the terms, find solutions there, that we do it in a sustainable way. Also training models is something that we do. And the final piece is, I mentioned Signavio, I mentioned process mining. We're striving for perfection. We're striving for, let's say, very nice and smooth processes which give value to you as our dear customers. So that's why we use Signavio, the fantastic tool. This is just an example of what we see when we look from a helicopter at the support process. I call it the way through the jungle, where a mass of our customers are then scratching their hands and clicking in the different portals, and then the AI solutions, AI services are triggered and solutions are being delivered. And it's not helping with cases, for example. Then cases are still created, and we have not done our homework properly. So that's it, where we need to adjust, maybe correct, improve, optimize. And that's how we see it in a, let's say, highly nice aggregated process view. We evaluate our own support process very diligently every day. And the last slide, battery is not working, so let me just do it this way. Last slide here. This is what Signavio is about. So understanding how the process is used, identifying missing process features. That's how we evaluate the process. mapping survey results. You give us survey, maybe Qualtrics. You remember there are these pop-ups from time to time appearing where you can tell us how a particular thing is working. We consider these results and we redesign our support process accordingly for your convenience and our operational efficiency. So this is it. I would like to thank you for your kind attention, for staying with us on a Friday afternoon. It's really fantastic that you have taken the time. I'll be here for a couple more minutes if you would like to talk about anything that I presented to you today. And feel free to provide feedback to our session. And I think this will then conclude the session. If there are any questions, Konstantin will run about with the microphone.
Yeah, I think you know how it works. Just raise your hand. I will come to you with a microphone if you have a question.
Thank you so much for the presentation. And just would like to know, of course, if you can share what is the engine behind of the AI using in SAP. I know that you are utilizing Microsoft Azure AI. So which GPT you are using?
Okay. We try to do many things in our own data center. So let's say a part of the generative AI portion, we have object storage, we have SAP Data Intelligence, which is used to move data from one place to the other. We have our own machine learning environment, which helps data scientists work in the notebook concept that you know, and we have containers where the, let's say, ready-to-use trained models are put for production, so they can be hit, let's say, 100,000 times per day, and they, let's say, do not collapse. So many of these things are happening in our own data center. In terms of LLM, we are very innovative. We have a cluster of GPUs, and we have currently one model there. I'm not gonna make any, let's say, advertising for suppliers, but one model which has passed our legal and commercial evaluation for this particular purpose. So this is being hosted in our own GPUs. It's quite a huge investment in GPUs, and we have. You mentioned Azure OpenAI. That's one of the services that we, let's say, connect to. If the purpose, we really look at every use case, everything which I showed you, and there are many things happening, like summarizing cases for internal processing, maybe generating KBAs automatically at some stage. These things, we really have legal team to look at it. Can it be done with this model, with this supplier? So Azure OpenAI is definitely one, but we make sure that there is no prompting, like that none of these suppliers learn from the interaction, because it's wholly for us, it's very trusted. Whatever you tell us about your issues and whatever we give you as an answer, this is nobody else's business. So let's say all the switches and everything is you can rely on it, that it has been checked and there is nobody else listening and nobody else learning from it. So we have in-house, just to give you the short answer, we have currently one in-house model in our GPUs, and that goes to the question training. You train it, you get it from the supplier, but it doesn't know too much about SAP terminology. It can say, fiori, it's just a translation of a flower in whatever Italian, but it doesn't know that this is the UI and these things. So just imagine we spend days and days and heavy investment training this model, and then the supplier says, well, GPT 3.5 is discontinued, is now GPT 4, and you get a new fresh instance, then well, we would have an issue. So for these things, and now I'm going too far, but it's just my passion. I'm really very passionate about these things. That's the whole new things of not DevOps, but FinOps, financial operations, which comes with the concept of running large language model. We really need to think twice. Is it more efficient to pay for the tokens to a supplier of a cloud-based large language model, or rather do the invest on our end and then having more efficient operations. So it can be economical reasons, and it can be, let's say, reasons of continuity, training a model and not losing it. That would be why we decide to go for our own hosted model.
Okay, thank you, Carol. Sorry, the last one.
Yeah. Hi, Carol, and thanks a lot for this overview. My question is specific to swarming. Can support engineers of software partners be included in swarming activities as well?
Support engineers and software, like swarming somebody from a partner. That's a good idea. I will take this with me. I don't think it's the case currently, but it's maybe a good idea to follow up on. Absolutely. Oh, very good. We have innovation coming out of the room. That's fantastic.
Thanks, Carol, for the insightful presentation. And we will continue in this room in 10 minutes with the EWA topic.
Thank you.